Hey everyone, it is Friday, April 22nd. The time is 11:45 a.m. and right now the temperature is around 9 degrees Celsius. And I'm here at the intersection of Richmond Street and Power Street, and there's a look south down Power. And this here is the eastern terminus of Richmond Street, as that is where Eastern Avenue dumps westbound traffic onto Richmond. And for this one, I'll be hopping on the e-scooter and going for a ride around the entirety of the Richmond to Adelaide cycle track. So I'll be heading west along Richmond Street all the way to where it ends at Strawn Avenue, and then I'll head south and jump onto Adelaide Street, which is another one-way street that runs parallel to Richmond just south of here. And I'll come right back west along the downtown core and finish up pretty much right around the same spot. So this is Richmond Street East, and I'm now heading west along it. And this is the Corktown neighborhood, so this ride will take me through Corktown and then the St. Lawrence neighborhood, and then I'll be into the financial district and then entertainment district, and after that the fashion district. And it's worth noting that today is Earth Day, so I thought it was appropriate to hop on two wheels and go. Although it didn't occur to me until I was on my way down here that I probably should have taken the single speed out today. But I guess the e-scooter is just more fun. And here is Berkeley Street. So just south of here at King Street will be the future home of an Ontario Line subway stop. This is the east side of downtown. And the city's bike share program has a low price of just $1 per, I think, 30 minutes. And they're doing that in honor of Earth Day. So here is Sherbourne Street. So this will take me pretty much across the downtown core. Where I started was almost as far east as you could go. And then once I pass Bathurst, I'll be out of downtown, and then I'll turn around soon after that. These bike lanes were put in along Richmond Street here and Adelaide to the south of it between 2014 and 2016. That was originally a pilot project, but in 2019 the city voted to make them permanent. And at that time, they were the most used bike lanes in the city. Although I would suspect with the pandemic lessening the amount of people downtown in the financial district and the addition of bike lanes on Bloor and Danforth, I think those ones have probably surpassed these ones. And this is Jarvis Street. I'll be curious to see what the full year's data says. And here is Church Street. and Victoria Street. So next up will be Yonge Street. And once I cross Yonge, I'll be on Richmond Street West. It's west of Yonge. Most of the streets pick up that west moniker, and to the east of Yonge, it's of course east. Here's Yonge Street. With this lane being as nice and wide as it is, I have plenty of room to pass these people here. Truck is turning right. So you can see the truck filtering to the right, although it should be a little more right than that. Although I guess he's got a bit of a wide turn to make. And you'll see the markings here. Funnel cyclists to the left of right turning vehicles. So I hope these people here are turning right, because that is very, oh, they are. It would be quite dangerous if they were going straight through the intersection there. Or they just chose to cross at the pedestrian crossing. They're back in the bike lane. That's one way to do it. So this is Bay Street. So just south of here would be the heart of the financial district. I certainly have no problems with them using the bike lanes. And here's York Street. And the Four Seasons Center for the Performing Arts is just on the right here. Although the biking infrastructure in the city has improved dramatically, I think the city still has quite a ways to go. I talked a bit about how they actually removed some bike lanes they added in Scarborough on Brimley Road, and I thought that certainly wasn't a decision in the best interest of the city. And speaking of that, I'm riding an e-scooter, but technically last year the city voted against implementing the province's pilot project. I think it was in May last year, where the province allowed municipalities to allow e-scooters on their streets. And a lot of cities did go for that, but the city of Toronto opted out. But despite that, these still remain a rather popular way to get around town, and I think rightfully so. I don't think there's been any instances at all of police ticketing anyone for having one. And here is Duncan Street. So we are now in the entertainment district. There's the future home of a new city park on the left there. On the topic of e-scooters, a lot of the reasons they cited for keeping the ban on e-scooters really don't make any sense, because those same concerns regarding accessibility, people saying that they're too quiet and they sneak up on pedestrians, well, so are e-bikes and so are Teslas, but they're both allowed. As well as issues of enforcement and licensing and insurance, but really none of that applies to e-bikes. And as someone who owns a regular bike and a couple of e-bikes and a couple of scooters, really you can follow the rules all the same. And I can operate my e-scooter the same as I can a bike. There's pretty much no difference at all. And we're at Spadina, so I think the fashion district begins once I cross Spadina here. Gotta be careful with the right turning car here. Do they see me? Do they see me? No, they do not see me. Good job. And here's Brant Street. Well, that's nice. Just block the bike lane with our flatbed truck. And here's Portland Street. And there's a stretch coming up where Richmond Street actually changes directions. I think it becomes a one-way heading east. But there still is a bike lane for westbound traffic. We can't go?
They said no.
All right. My camera is tilt locked, so I don't know if I got a view of it, but there's a rather large piece of that building being constructed dangling over the roadway. And this is Bathurst Street. Looks like a pretty new e-bike that guy has. So if you're driving on Richmond here, you have to turn right or left. There's a public school on the left. So things quickly became residential. And this will be the turnaround point coming up. This should be Strawn Avenue, I think. So I could turn right here and this will take me up to Trinity Bellwoods Park on Queen Street. Oh. Actually, Richmond continues here. Oh, that was Niagara Street. That was not Strawn. That was my bad. And now it is a two-way street. So this should be Strawn coming up. Now you could turn right and head up to Trinity Bellwoods. So coming up is Adelaide Street. So I'll be turning left here. And this isn't where Adelaide terminates. That actually, I think, comes to an end west of here at Shaw Street. There's Penny's. Now we're riding east. That's Stanley Park on the right. A friend whose kid goes to this school here on the right. that, St. Mary's Parish on the left. And here's Bathurst, where the formal bike lane begins. There's Factory Theater on the left. And that building where it says Apple Self-Storage is where I bought my first e-scooter last year. It's where Tech Trendy is located. And coming up will soon be one of my favorite skyscraper canyon effects in the city. There's talk of moving this bike lane to the north side of the street because I'm riding east along the south side, particularly through the financial district, I believe, as it gets in the way of more delivery trucks and that sort of thing on this side. And I don't think Toronto has any instances where the bike lane would be on the other side of the street. I know it's quite common in cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago to see that. Heck, I think even Hamilton does that. And there's also talk of adding in better protections and turning boxes. There's the delivery truck in the bike lane. And this stretch on Adelaide, particularly during rush hour, is usually littered with cars in the bike lane. Although I think we'd have better luck at this time of day. Could certainly use a resurfacing in some parts. The camera's really smoothing out how bumpy that is. And this is John Street, so we're back in the entertainment district. I think this is the temporary bike lane put in place. And pretty soon these streetcar tracks, well, maybe not pretty soon, but at some point, will come back to life. As due to construction of the Ontario line just north of here in Queen Street, they'll be diverting the streetcars south and will run along the stretch of Adelaide. The streetcar tracks are currently not maintained. In fact, they're not even existent after this intersection. So it'll be interesting to cruise around these streets once they've got heavy streetcar use. And here's University Avenue, and it's time to cross into the financial district. There's that skyscraper canyon effect I alluded to earlier. There's still nowhere near the amount of pedestrian traffic there would normally be. And just on the right is the tallest building in the country, First Canadian Place. I don't think I've ever not seen cars in the bike lane here. Although there is formal parking right here. That's certainly an area that could be improved and have less confusing markers for cyclists and drivers. I feel like I'm going off-roading right now. And it's back to the east side of downtown. There's someone enjoying their $1 bike share. It's unfortunate it's not a warmer day. I think that would definitely encourage a few more people to get out. And it's Jarvis Street. So this is the St. Lawrence neighborhood. And once I pass Parliament, we'll be in Corktown. And pretty much right back to where I started this. Here's Sherburne Street. Ooh. Bike lane ends as per these signs. And here's Berkeley Street. So after this, I get to ride home up to Yonge and Eglinton. That's the great thing about this scooter. I had enough battery to ride all the way down here, record this ride, and then go back home. And our bike lane has ended. And here is Power Street. This is right where I started, pretty much. I guess I could just turn left here. As long as that car doesn't run the stop sign. There's a dog park on the right. There is the corner where I started this ride. This seems like a good spot to finish it. So I hope you enjoyed this Earth Day ride along all of Richmond Street and most of Adelaide Street across downtown Toronto. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I also have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And there's the e-scooter. All right, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one.